I got into real estate because I really love design and I love making places feel homey. So I bought my first fixer-upper when I was 23 and really enjoyed getting to choose what that home was going to look like and make it my own, put my own kind of stamp on it. And so I just want to help other people be able to do the same thing. And if you don't own your home, then you don't get to put yourself into it in that same way. So I love making that dream come true for people. You know, there are so many things to love about Oklahoma City and more in the last 10 to 15 years than ever before as we've grown. We are such a hub for foodies. We have an amazing local food scene here, amazing locally owned restaurants with unique food that we didn't have in this part of the country before. And I do love to eat, so that's one of my most favorite things about Oklahoma City. We also have a great art museum, a couple actually, the new contemporary one that just opened, and we have a ton of local breweries. So just, you know, hopping around the city and checking out all of those things are kind of my favorite things to do here. So I love the Plaza District in general. Like, there's so many great spots there. New State has an amazing burger and their Brussels sprouts are to die for. So that's one of my very favorites. I also love the Mule right across the street, which we are fortunate enough to have one of those in downtown Edmond as well. And Empire is my favorite pizza locally, and the original location is just a little ways down the street from where it started, but still in the Plaza District. Yeah, so I love to be outside as much as I can when it's warm. I'm not a cold person, but so beaches are my favorite travel destination, and traveling is definitely one of my favorite things to do. So anywhere in Mexico, I love Florida beaches as well. I love to read. I do a lot more of that in the winter months when it's cold, and it's nice to be inside and cozy with a blanket and a glass of wine. And I have 3 amazing kids that I love spending time with, just checking out the city and doing fun things. Oh man, yeah, so I have not been reading a lot of fiction lately, but I have read quite a bit of nonfiction over the last year. One of my very favorites is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I've loved all of her books, but that one came out, I guess, just last year, maybe the year before, and I really enjoy it. And right now I'm reading Brene Brown's new book, Atlas of the Heart, which is amazing so far. Ooh, that's a tough one. The best advice ever? I've received so much good advice, but you never know how good it is until later, and when you're wise enough to accept it, I feel like. I think probably don't worry about what other people think. They're going to talk about you no matter what, so they might as well talk about you for doing what makes you happy instead of trying to fit into somebody else's box. So I started really working out and getting serious about my health and my fitness in my early 30s and started teaching fitness classes and have just loved being part of the fitness community here. I taught hip hop and cardio dance and Zumba for about 10 years, and then as I got older and was dealing with some injuries and things, got more into strength training, and I still train 4 or 5 days a week and really love staying strong and thinking about how being strong will carry us into that next phase of life, whatever that is at any age. My goals have changed a lot. It's not about being a certain size or those types of things, but staying strong and active and being able to enjoy, you know, doing all the things I love, like hiking and just keeping up with younger people and my kids and lifting heavy things, you know, as I approach my 50s and beyond. I think the very best place to start is drinking more water and walking. If you can do those 2 simple things, even if, you know, walking for you is a quick walk around the block right now, just adding a little bit more movement and adding some water is a great place to start. And then once you have those kind of foundational habits down, adding, you know, more healthy foods rather than worrying about taking out the bad things. Just start crowding them out with healthier choices. And little steps add up to big changes when you pair them with consistency over time. So I feel like we all have had this just communal shift with going through a pandemic, that goal setting is so different for me now than it would have been 2 or 3 years ago. I would always start out the year focusing on health, and I still am in some ways, but not in a sense of making a radical change or, you know, really buckling down nutritionally or those kinds of things. Now it's so important to me to be able to continue to engage socially with my friends in a safe way. You know, I don't ever want to turn down a dinner or a get together with vaccinated friends that are cautious, because we've missed that connection so much over the last year. So I think this year my goals are more about relationships and spending time doing the things that I love with the people that I love, rather than focused on achievement or numbers in a way that they would have been pre-pandemic.